All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Saturday Community Caucus from the Office of Councilman Gilmore in Ward F, where we discuss and dissect the City Council agenda. We like to do this to get your input and to make you aware of everything that the City Council will be voting on. We've been doing this since we took office. And we like to encourage people to join and to participate because it lets us know what the community wants and how the community would like to be represented. If you have never been to a council meeting or community caucus, this is where we spend your tax dollars. This is how we decide how we're going to spend your tax dollars. It's also how we decide how we're going to govern the city, like where we're going to put stop signs, how much money we're going to spend on different departments and divisions, what is allowed to be built, redevelopment plans and such. Even though each department might have its own agenda, a lot of the larger agendas need city council approval, especially if they're spending anything over $45,000. They have to come to the city council to get permission to spend a certain amount of money. So I'm sharing my screen. This is the everythingwardf.com website. This is the website that Councilman Gilmore this was one of his first agenda items, was to put a website together that was easy to access. So I'm broadcasting live from Lincoln High School today. Councilman Gilmore is hosting senior citizens getting a day of pampering. If you missed your opportunity to sign up for the day of pampering, we'll be doing this again in January. So you can call or text 201. So you can call or text 201-273 that we put on social media. Um, and see all of and then some. And you can also catch up on our previous newsletters. We just got a big compliment today on our previous newsletter, thanking poll workers. We also have a holiday party. If you work the polls in Ward F, we have a holiday party coming up on December 12th. So definitely reach out to our office. If you don't have our contact information, you can visit the Contact Your Councilman page to get Councilman Gilmore's direct phone number. You can also schedule a meeting with Councilman Gilmore, whether you're a city employee, a constituent, or a land use applicant. There are certain days and times set aside just for you. Just click on either of the buttons to start scheduling that. You can also get all of our contact information below, including myself and the other aide, Lanisha Trent. So without further ado, we're going to go to the City Caucus page. As I mentioned, that's what today's meeting is for. Every other Saturday, before the city votes on agenda items, we like to get your input. So we like to go through the council items one by one in detail. We want to see what they're voting on, and we want to hear from you. We want to know how you would like your council person to represent you. And I like just A, B, C, D, E, or F council person. But you also have 3 at-large council people that are supposed to represent you. Your at-large represents the entire city of Jersey City. So we like to think that each ward has 4 council people, not just 1, and they should be representing you. So definitely contact them if you would like, if you feel strongly about how they should vote on any agenda item in particular. On Mondays, we have the caucus, the council caucus, where they review the agenda items, but the public is not allowed to speak at the council caucus. That's why we have this Saturday caucus, because we want to hear from you and we welcome you to speak. Wednesdays is the council meeting where you have to sign up to speak on any item that isn't a second reading. So the only time you don't have to sign up to speak during the council meetings is during the second reading, second hearings. But anything else that you want to speak on, you do have to click on sign up to Zoom details, sign up to speak, and you'll get added to the list. So without further ado, if you're joining from home and you want to click on the council agenda, you can view it yourself. I'm going to share my screen and share the council meeting agenda with you here as well. So I like to view it in split screen mode so I can see the agenda on the left and the details on the right. When you click on the resolution or the ordinance details, it pops up and it lets you know more information about each item. So first readings, ordinances and ordinances in general are laws. So this has to do with traffic. It has to do with traffic patterns or stop signs. It has to do with parking laws. Any regulation is going to be voted on as an ordinance, and it has to be voted on twice. The first reading is an introduction, and the second reading is when it becomes law within 30 days. So we have a first reading here, which is an ordinance amending the West Side Avenue redevelopment plan, expanding allowed uses of loft and residential in the loft residential district. So moving down to the last page, we're going to look at more details about what specifically, why is this ordinance being suggested by the administration. So we'll go down to the purpose box and we'll see that the purpose of this ordinance is to add retail office space sorry, add retail, office, and restaurant uses along West Side Avenue in the Lofts Residential District of the West Side Avenue redevelopment plan. And I always say it's great to have more businesses within walking distance. That means less car fumes. That means more jobs, more employment opportunities. So it's great to expand the use beyond just residential. And so now they'll be able to have retail, office, and restaurant use. And it's likely going to be on the main floor of this redevelopment plan, buildings within this redevelopment plan. So only one first reading. Then we're going to go on to our second readings. These were introduced at the last meeting. And we have 4.1, which is an ordinance authorizing the city of Jersey City to execute a sublease between the Proverse Square Performing Arts Company, Inc. and the New Jersey Symphony for the purpose of providing culturally enriching experiences to the city of Jersey City community through the arts. So we'll go down to the purpose box again, and we'll see what kind of cultural experiences. The purposes include classes, workshops, exhibits, and performances. 4.2 is an ordinance approving a 30-year tax exemption for Birchwood at Fairmont Hotel, Block 16, Lot 16301, Lot 42, pursuant to the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Act of 1983, as amended in sub 14K-1. So this building provides housing, and I believe it's for senior housing as well. So that's why they're going to get tax exemption, because they're providing affordable housing. And they just received funding from the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency in amounts of $8 million to use toward a $9 million residential for the property, including a new roof, brick paint pointing, exterior doors and windows, and various unit and common area improvements, including kitchens and bathrooms. So that's great. This building is getting an upgrade, and I'm sure it's long overdue. Other than affordable housing units, our office doesn't, our office definitely frowns upon tax exemptions and pilots, which are payments in lieu of taxes. But when it's for senior housing and affordable housing, we definitely want to support that. So the purpose, again, is to authorize a 30-year pilot payment in lieu of taxes agreement with an annual service charge of 11% of the estimated gross revenue, which is estimated to be $804,000 in the first year following substantial completion of the project. So instead of paying property taxes, they'll be paying a tax based on their gross revenue each year. Item number 5 is a public request for hearings. As I mentioned, if you do want to speak at the town hall, you get 3 minutes to speak. Each citizen that comes in the doors and signs up in advance gets 3 minutes to speak on whatever topic you want. It's a great way to get your point across on record. These meetings are not only held live, not only broadcasted via Teams, but they're also put on YouTube forever. So if you want proof that you have brought something to the attention of the council, and you want to put it on record to hold them accountable, speaking at the city council meeting is a great way to do that. Because sometimes you have to shame your government leaders into doing the right thing. And I love when people do it on camera. So again, if you'd like to sign up to speak, you can go to everythingwhatf.com, click on Community Caucus page, and click on the sign up to speak link. All right, we're going to skip down to resolutions. That's how we spend your tax dollars. Again, anything over about $45,000 needs council permission to be spent. So 10.1 is a resolution authorizing the insertion of a special item of revenues and appropriations in this calendar year 2024 municipal budget pursuant to NJSA 40A4. So we're adding funds to the budget for the apprenticeship program, 750,000. Also adding UEZ funds to the budget, changing that from hold on one second. Just make sure. Okay, hopefully we're back online on Facebook too. All right, apologies that my Wi-Fi went out. But we're on 10.2 resolutions. Just want to make sure we're still live on Facebook. And if anybody has any questions at any time, feel free to join the Zoom. You can ask them in Zoom, or you can send me an email to get that answer for you. Okay, looks like we're back on. And let me make sure we're sharing our screen. If you'd like to read along for the council agenda, just go to everythingwardf.com, click on Community Caucus, and you can follow along on your own computer screen if the screen is too small for you. Alrighty. All right, 10.2 is a resolution authorizing a renewal of a professional services agreement with LifeMod LLC. LifeMod provides physician services in connection with the city clinic under the Department of Public Health and Human Services. Speaking of public health and human services, also starting at 11 o'clock today is a toy giveaway for kids of all ages. They have toys for kids of all ages for free at the annex today. So if you are around 39 Kearney Avenue, if you're in the neighborhood, or if you have a way to get there, I would go now because they are doing a free toy giveaway, and they have gift cards for teenagers. They also are giving away food for about 300 families. That is at the City Hall Annex at 39 Kearney Avenue from the Office of Health and Human Services. 10.3 is a resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 appropriation transfers for the Department of Public Safety. And we appropriated almost $1 million or more in the last meeting, and here we are giving them some more money, but this is for fire. So we like the fire department and Office of Emergency Management, totaling $65,000 from communications. 10.4 is a resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 appropriation transfers for the Department of Administration, Health and Department of Administration, Human Services. So taking funds from the municipal court, municipal election office. SW stands for salary and wages. OE stands for operating expenses. And then there's a salary adjustment line item for $1 million. So I guess there's a position in this office that they don't need to fill anymore. So we'll see if they need that money next year. Because this is what we want to pay attention to closely, right? Because we want to make sure that these departments aren't padding their money just so they can appropriate it to public safety in the next year. So what I'd like to do, and if we have any volunteers willing to assist, is look back at, say, the last 4 to 8 years of appropriations and see if the same division or department has been appropriating money to public safety at the end of the year. Because if they have every year, that means they're either one, mismanaging their finances, or two, padding their budget. And both are frowned upon because we always have to give money to public safety. And that means public safety isn't properly identifying their budget items, which means their budget is actually larger than what was passed the previous year. So it's not when they give us our budget, it's not a good representation. It's not a true representation because at the end of the year, we still have to appropriate over $1 million to them when public safety, their budget is larger than not only larger than every other department's budget, but if you put every other department's budget together, public safety is larger than that. So it's over half of our city's budget. And for what? Well, how is your quality of life? Do you feel safe? Or do you feel like these cops are wasting your city dollars just standing on these corners in their phone or smoking cigars? Not to say that they don't solve crimes, but I don't think it's solved by the standing post. I think the internal officers, the detectives, do a lot of the heavy lifting. 10.5 is a resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 appropriation transfers for the Department of Infrastructure, Division of Transportation and Planning. So the Office of Architecture is giving Transportation and Planning $6,000. 10.6 is a resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 appropriation transfers for the Department of Recreation and Youth Development, Division Park Maintenance. So taking $30,000 from the enrichment program, salary and wages, and giving it to park maintenance. 10.7 is a resolution ratifying the award of a professional services agreement with Wildcott and Company, LLC, certified public accountants to perform professional municipal budget accounting and financial services. And this was selected via RFQ, request for proposals. I forget what RFQ stands for, the Q in RFQ, but it's similar to a request for proposals. In which this company won this RFQ. 10.8 is a resolution granting a veteran's tax exemption for Block 4402, Lot 26, qualifier C0001 from local property taxation pursuant to NJSA. So we have location 9 Manhattan Avenue. And the owner had filed an application for veterans tax exemption. So if you are a veteran and you are not aware of this tax exemption possibility or potential, please reach out to our office so we can get you the correct application. 10.9 is a resolution granting veteran exemptions from local property taxation pursuant to NJSA. So another location that is going to be exempt from taxes due to them qualifying as a veteran. And this location, I don't see it listed. Allows the governing body municipals to return taxes paid. So they paid taxes, but they were a veteran, they were exempt, so we're going to return taxes paid. 10.10 is a resolution authorizing the cancellation of a 2024 real estate taxes for Block 16801, Lot 12, aka 35 Storms Avenue, Block 3702, Lot 22, aka 117 Hutton Street, and Block 3702, Lot 39, aka 18 Sherman Place, due to the city of Jersey City acquiring the properties. So when Jersey City acquires properties, of course, they are no longer taxed because we are the owner. I'd like to know what are our plans for these properties, and I want to make sure they're not vacant or abandoned and accessible to persons who have no business in there. We need to make sure that they're boarded up and inaccessible, and then also make sure that the city has plans for them, because we have plenty of properties that are lying dormant, and we have nonprofit organizations that are in need of locations to host their operations. 10.11 is a resolution authorizing the cancellation of tax balances, lot cleaning charges, abatement charges, special improvement charges of credits $10 or less for the tax year 2024 and prior years. So this is a bunch of change that we are going to just cancel because we need to balance our books, and it might be payments that were made. And so you see a lot of pennies here, but those pennies add up. Uh, so when they go uncollected, they definitely add up. But the cost to try to collect it outweighs the cost of the collection. So sometimes it's just not worth sending that piece of mail out to get these funds. 10.12 is a resolution ratifying a contract award to Nadler Mobile LLC for the lease of modular trailers that currently house police personnel in East District for the Department of Public Safety Division of Police. So we're extending this contract, or ratifying the contract. So we were told this is just a temporary location. Hopefully we don't have to lease these too much longer. The lease amount is $66,000. And the contract is from September 2024 through September 2025. So hopefully after September 2025, they'll have their location and we won't have to lease this anymore. Well, apologies. 10.13 is a resolution honoring Lieutenant David L. Scanlon on the occasion of his retirement from the Jersey City Police Department. 10.14 is a resolution authorizing the implementation of a second renewal option of service agreement with Empower, formerly Prudential Insurance Company of America, to administer the city's deferred compensation plan. 10.15 is a resolution authorizing the use of carryover funds of a grant award from the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Admission. And sometimes a lot of these grants, we have sometimes we have a year to spend the money, sometimes we have 3 years to spend the money. So this is us carrying the funds over from one year to the next to be used in 2025, the amount of almost $30,000. 10.16 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a license agreement with the city of the Jersey City Medical Center, RWJ Barnabas Health, for the use of office space located at 3394 Central Ave, Jersey City. So we're giving them office space. 10.17 is a resolution authorizing the City of Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept additional grant funds from the Hudson County Department of Health and Human Services for the peer grouping meal program and to execute the grant agreement. 10.18 is a resolution authorizing the agreement with Community Food Bank of New Jersey for New Jersey SNAP Ed nutrition and fitness education programming. And if you are in need of any of these services, the Health and Human Services offices are also located in the same area as 39 Kearney Avenue, right in the extra parking lot. So if you have any health and human services needs or require any health and human services education or information, free services, there is also a free clinic in that parking lot. Just go to that new city building right in the heart of the hub. 10.19 is a resolution authorizing the renewal of an open-end contract with Clark Moynihan Landscaping and Construction for the 2025 general maintenance of Persian Field and Gateway Parks for the Department of Recreation and Youth Development Division of Maintenance. So if you have any issues with previous maintenance, you can definitely reach out to Lucinda in Parks and Rec. She just is signing this new contract. So if there's something in particular you want them to pay attention to, definitely, and now is the time to make sure it gets on the list for next year. 10.20 is a resolution authorizing the renewal of an open-end contract with Clark, the same landscaping company, for general maintenance of Bayside Park, Audubon Park, Leonard Gordon Park, Hamilton Park, Berry Lane Park, Columbia Park, and Riverview Fisk Park for the Department of Recreation and Youth Development. I think it'd be a good idea for Lucinda to meet with all of the council people one-on-one. So we'll schedule a meeting with Lucinda just to talk about all of the parks in Ward F and what her plans are for them now that she has this contract for landscaping and construction being adopted to make sure that the community concerns are addressed in advance. 10.21 is a resolution requesting a change in the title, text, or amount of appropriation pursuant to NJSA 40A. So this is for matching funds for grants and destination marketing organization. So we see amounts adopted and amended. So we're changing funds from 121,000 to 64,000 here, from 0 to 57, and this the total is remaining the same. They're just breaking it up. 1022 is a resolution granting permission to the owner of Center Point Linden LLC, care of Breslin, to execute a deed notice affecting its property designated as Block 30306, Lot 7.01, also known as Linden Avenue East, Hudson County Chromate Site 16, for which the city of Jersey City has an easement. So let's see. So we're granting permission to access this property, and most likely it's for cleanup. So yeah, it's for maintenance and monitoring requirements. 10.23 is a resolution requesting the New Jersey Department of Transportation to grant a 6-month extension of time for the award of construction contract for Manhattan Avenue Bikeways grant project for the Department of Infrastructure. So this hopefully will be passed so that we have more time to plan for this Manhattan Avenue Bikeway grant, and hopefully we don't miss the opportunity to spend this money. 1024 is a resolution authorizing the award of an open-end contract to Smith Sondy Asphalt Construction Co., Inc. for 2024 road program asphalt resurfacing at various locations. So we'll see which locations will get resurfaced with these funds. Hopefully we have many in Ward F, because we have some potholes due to all of the MUA construction that's been taking place. So this is a contract award for $3.3 million worth of paving. 10.25 is a resolution awarding a professional engineering services contract to Ingenuity Infrastructure LLC to prepare plans and specifications for Christopher Columbus Drive roadway improvements for the Department of Infrastructure. So that'll be interesting as well. Christopher Columbus also borders Ward F as well as Ward E. So we'll want to take part in a meeting to discuss what their plans are for Christopher Columbus Drive. And this amount is for $719,000. So some significant improvements on there. 10.26 is a resolution authorizing the last renewal of contract with Gen Electric, Inc. for traffic signal maintenance project for the Department of Infrastructure and Division of Traffic Engineering. So we'll see which lights are going to be included in this $2.5 million project, which lights are going to be serviced. 10.27 is a resolution authorizing an award of contracts to F&S Tire Corporation, Inc. for the purchase and delivery of various tires for city-owned vehicles under state contract for the Department of Public Works. 10.28 is a resolution authorizing an award of contract to A. Lembo Car and Heavy Truck Collision, Inc. for the maintenance and repair of heavy-duty vehicles under state contract for the Department of Public Works, Division of Automotive Maintenance. 10.29 is a resolution ratifying an award of professional services agreement with the law firm of Apruzis, McDormand, Mastro, and Murphy, P.C. to represent the city of Jersey City in various union negotiations. 10.30 is a resolution ratifying the renewal of professional services agreement with the law firm Kalgany and Kanifsky LLP to provide legal advice and counsel regards to various employment-related investigations. Anytime there's a conflict of interest and that our city lawyers can't take on, they outsource their legal services. 10.31 is a resolution authorizing the city tax collector to enter into a written agreement for a pilot installment plan for Glenview Townhouses 2. So pilot, again, is payment in lieu of taxes for Glenview Townhouses. Okay, so they're occupied by low and moderate income senior tenants and is subject to a tax exemption agreement. And the last resolution on the list is a resolution to cancel current appropriation reserve balances. So there are balances in the reserve in the amount of 604,000, and it remains unexpended, so we're canceling that. It is necessary to formally cancel this said balance, which will increase the city's cash surplus for 2025. Beautiful. So less money coming out of taxpayers' pockets because we had funds set aside for 2016 that did not need to get spent. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the city council agenda list. All other items are deferred or tabled, and they may vote to take them off of the agenda altogether for a clean state of 2025, or they may, carry over to 2025. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, of course, feel free to contact your councilman, contact your council office. Please visit everythingwardf.com for all this information. This website is very informative. We like to think it's very user friendly. Our first homepage on the website lets you know how to report an issue, find youth programs, find Black associations, learn how to find help, employment, volunteer, register your business, learn how to receive housing and rental assistance, how to access the landlord-tenant relations office, city planning office, the Board of Education, Jersey City Economic Development, parking enforcement, senior affairs, and more. I am Erica Walker, Chief of Staff for Councilman Gilmore, and I hope you learned something today. Peace and power.